Photography today is very different, with a lot more possibilities on one hand. On the other hand, also a lot easier than before. And of course now you can go in the back of your screen and you can have a look, did it work or didn't it work? In these days, we went home, developed the films, and then you can see on the end of next week if it was any good what you've done. So to be risky in photography, you need big balls, because otherwise the whole production was gone.
What do you desire? What makes you itch? What sort of a situation would you like? What would you like to do if money were no object? How would you really enjoy spending your life? Well, it's so amazing. As a result of our kind of educational system, crowds of students say, well, we'd like to be painters, we'd like to be poets, we'd like to be writers, but as everybody knows, you can't earn any money that way. Or another person says, well, I'd like to live an out-of-doors life and ride horses. I say, do you want to teach in a riding school? Let's go through with it. What do you want? When we finally got down to something which the individual says he really wants to do, I will say to him, you do that, and forget the money. If you say that getting the money is the most important thing, you will spend your life completely wasting your time. You'll be doing things you don't like doing in order to go on living, that is, to go on doing things you don't like doing, which is stupid. Better to have a short life that is full of what you like doing than a long life spent in a miserable way.
Wydaje mi się, że niedawno tutaj dopiero się pojawiłem, a to jest już, jakby nie patrzeć, 200 rund.
I've been involved in WRC now permanently for 22 years in various different capacities with Subaru, with Toyota, with Mitsubishi, and more latterly with the FIA. So yeah, you don't give that kind of commitment to work, without having a passion and a real desire to be here, to work with the people that I do. We work in one of the most fantastic championships in the world.
We do look at things very nostalgically in rallying, and we can do that, and we've got every right to do that, and we must enjoy those memories, we must enjoy those images, the wonderful photographs, the wonderful videos, but we mustn't let it detract from what we've got in front of us, because what we have in front of us is the greatest motor show event on earth.
Rally cars in situations where you wouldn't normally see them. So out of context then, we're used to seeing them on rally stages in gravel, snow, tarmac. I like seeing them against backdrops of villages, against normal life. So you have the extraordinary next to the ordinary.
For sure, the photographer needs to have some passion, because if you think you have to be early mornings, you have to be walking over the bushes, over the forest, being there in the winter, in the cold weather.
There's a lot of really enthusiastic photographers trying to get the right place, trying to put in as much preparation as they can to do their job well. So it's the same for us.
And we all are getting dirty. There is rain. We have to fight the elements. We have to walk and find access to places and all that. So this melts together. We have different things to tackle.
Actually, drivers are inside the car, but the photographs needs to be outside there and a demanding condition. So yes, photographer really need to have some passion for this sport, because there are other sports with a lot easier circumstances.
photographers are much more crazy than the drivers. Let's say we are still sitting in the car where we have a cage around us, so we have kind of safety, but you are just crazy guys with a green jacket next to the road, you know how to stand and where to stand just to take care of your life, but still, in my opinion, photographers are much more crazy. Yes.
To make a great rally photographer, you also have to be able to adapt to those conditions. You have to be able to go out in 40-degree heat, as we did in Jordan a few years ago, and -30 in Sweden. You have to be able to stand at the side of the road in Turkey and take the rocks as they're splattered at you. So yeah, there are comparisons between rally cars as the finest types of production cars and rally photographers as the finest form of motorsport photographers.
It's great to help the photographers in their work and to be able to appreciate the work that they are doing by providing permanent passes. And I think, you know, for a lot of people that means something quite special. You're part of the FIA family.
It's always nice to come back on the WRC and to see again the guys around.
Because we are all so much away from families and everything. And I think when we come together, you almost take care of each other a little bit.
Which is also why I'm very happy to be in rallying for so many decades, because it's a nice family feeling to be inside. The drivers have the same, of course they're all fighting for the win, but they're still colleagues, because everyone is somewhere in the shit where he needs some help from someone, and he will get it. It's not like Formula One or other things like that.
And motorsports photography is really quite unique, and there's so many different ways to capture a car moving, especially in rally. It can be so dynamic because you have everything from early morning stages here in Spain to, you know, snow falling in Sweden.
But then when you're on gravel, you have some nice dust. If you're in Monte Carlo, you're in the mountains. In Finland, the cars are flying, so naturally you have an environment to take nice pictures.
You've got glowing brakes to, you know, sparks from the cuts. It's quite different than, say, something like Formula One or NASCAR drag racing. It's so much more dynamic, and the way a lot of the photographers catch it, it really shows a lot of creativity between the different photographers. So it's something I really genuinely appreciate with all the different photographers that make rally look so good, is it really embodies like why I love rally so much.
This sport is not only always about the good memories, it's also part of the bad memories. And the sad memory was that Poland in 2009, that's one memory I tried to vanish off my head, and I have done it quite well. But there was one moment which I will remember always, is that the moment I was crying, sat down, then I jumped up and I stopped crying, and I remember all the photographers started to clap hands to me, and that was the only, like, a little spark which gave me a bit of a feeling I want to continue on this sport.
I was just amazed because I had no clue what I hit. Suddenly we're upside down. It's not something I would like to forget. I mean, of course, crashing is never fun, but at the same time, it's a cool photo. Nice that someone captures these moments as well, because it's a part of our sport. My first proper role, so to have it on the picture is nice.
Cameras today, they are so fantastic with the digital possibilities you have. Just for the light, just imagine you can now do 1250 ASA. In the past, when we had film, I mean, you had 100 ASA was the limit, because everything else more than 100 ASA was too much grain, so you couldn't really print it nicely. So from 100 ASA to 12,500 is an incredible step of possibilities you can use in doing dramatic things, special effects, and so the photography today is very, very different, with a lot more possibilities on one hand, on the other hand also a lot easier than before.
It's a completely different process which has grown throughout the years, and although it's changing, although it's becoming easier essentially to take a photograph, the skill behind creating that image is still one that's difficult to achieve, and only the very best can achieve it.
I think it's very special, you know, that you have the ability to do that and create such fantastic imagery that just showcases what our championship is all about.
I love the car in motion, don't get me wrong, you know, they are the fantastic pictures, but they're human beings inside the car and they need to be represented as well, and to see how a photographer can show off a personality. You can't speak to a photograph, but yet you can feel a personality through the photograph. It's a real special art to be able to do that.
It's giving a little big boost to our sport generally, and let's say if we want to be in a good sport, then we also need good people around us, you know, to show ourselves to the fans, to the people, and definitely without you, we could be nowhere.
I think a part of that business of capturing this stuff is actually about being very smart. Not only how to be safe, but how to be in the right places to capture the right moment. And it takes a lot of talent to do both those things.
So many fantastic images that you see. I think singling particular photographs out is actually quite difficult.
There's a Larry Chen photo of me with the unicorn on Pikes Peak on a very dangerous corner. And Pikes Peak is one of the reasons why I love rally. Like, that was one of the things where I saw the Audi Quattros and the Peugeot and all that racing up, and that was, you know, in the 80s, one of my early introductions.
It was a different era. We had different events, we had bigger crowds, we had different cars, different manufacturers. The one that comes to mind when you say that is the McLean photograph from the Safari Rally, and it is one of the most iconic pictures that we'll ever see, with the Masai Mara and the warriors looking down, and the car. For me, this is the real creativity that's involved in rallying, you know, rally photography particularly.
There's one really, really nice image that I like from 1979, from the Col de Torini, from the back, with all the spectators lined up and a lot of flashlights coming to the cars. That is unique, not because it's such an incredible image, but because it was an incredible location. Today, Col de Torini looks like a police state. Yeah, where there's no fun, there's no passion, there's no atmosphere left. So that is a big, fantastic memory for the past, but that's all.
Well, I'm not looking so much at pictures and all that, so I'm living on my time. I don't look at in the past at the moment, maybe when I will be older.
Hopefully after 30, 40 years we can have a laugh together to see what they've been doing and what kind of crazy guys we've been.
The stage starts at 11:20, so which means we have a lot of time, really a lot of time.
then run to the first stage.
So that will be the jump, the nice corners in front with the really
Jump
good
is
background.
okay, really okay.
They bumping with the. It's a really good one. So I think about this jump. And then we have a chance on the second run. We can do the first stage and the third one from the finish, which means 2 stages on the second run.
Today, if you have the perfect shot, you can copy it 300,000 times from the rest of the world. That has changed the market enormously, and the commercial element is actually quite poor today.
You know, smartphones, all the rest, it is just a snap and click, and you do get it, but you don't get it with the depth of feeling, of passion. Photography market has changed over the years. You know, every single incident that happens in a rally is either caught on video or caught by a smartphone. Yes, I think there's a place for that type of photography, but there's also a place for the creative, professional photography that you offer, Marcin.
Everything is accelerating with social media. You can access things so much quicker now, but I think to have a completely beautiful, solid representation of something photographically done properly by a proper artist, and I think it is important to make sure that that is kept at a really high standard, because it's really noticeable when the standard drops.
By the way, have you seen Loeb's line on this round?
Different, huh?
But it's I've never seen such a line on this roundabout since 6-7 years.
Should have gone left straight away.
We do all still make very high quality images, but if you really go into all the details and you have a screen like this or on a mobile phone, the whole thing is a waste. It's a little bit like watching a football match on a little screen where you can't even see the ball. You can only hear that, okay, maybe there was a goal, but I never even saw anything of it. So it depends a little bit on the presentation of the whole thing. But the quality is there, and the use and the demand is there, but you have to forget this instant social media stuff. You know, that's just for a little effect for now, but to go deep in it and to keep yourself attracted to it for a while, to see all the details, that is 2 different stories. I mean, we make a printed calendar which is about 1 meter long, so there you can see all the stones, every little stone that is flying, and you need sometimes for some of these images you can't just get the kick of it in 20 seconds, you know, it's a bit of a longer time. And many people said, yeah, what an old-fashioned thing is that, a calendar for the wall. Yeah, but it's the only thing that works in 1 meter. In the past we only had poor printed magazines. Even on the beginning, very, very little color at all. So it was black and white, quite poor quality. And so this is comparable to social media today, but you know, you can use it in books and things in a proper scale.
Is what really captures and brings a sport like rally to life. And I think with social media, you're not stuck with a book nowadays. And social media, it's like something happens tonight, you can share it tonight or tomorrow morning, and really the fans can see that stuff instantly.
That's what you are in the middle of the night when I can't get hold of it. You make it hard, trying not to let it show, but I just can't. Don't it, you got it. The feeling is closer. We cannot support it. The feeling is closer. Ooh, yeah, 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 yeah. You got it, I want it. The feeling is closer. I want it, you got it. The feeling is closer. We cannot support it. The feeling is closer. Ooh, yeah, 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 yeah. I'm like a lock, but you know which way to turn. Not to slip past all the parts. It never stops. I'm caught up in the fall, caught against a hard wall. I break up and break down. You know every little thing I like, don't you? You're moving at the perfect times.
What you will get with Marcin is something a little bit different. He is one of, yes, the most talented photographers. He's one of the most fittest photographers out there, and that is important in this sport, is to have someone who's prepared to go the extra kilometre, prepared to climb the extra 20 or 30 metres to get the shot, and who has that creative eye. A lot of photographers out there still taking the same pictures, but when you look at Marcin's pictures, there is something a little bit different that makes you want to look at the next picture.
You see the emotion and the creativity come through from the different photographers in the galleries they produce and the photos they produce, and not only commercial stuff maybe they do for a job, but then on a private account where, you know, their personal account, I mean, where you get to see like what they like. And I enjoy that element of seeing that.
Owszem pasja, owszem przygoda i fajne rzeczy, które robię. Z drugiej strony, kiedy mam odpowiadać komuś na pytanie, co robię w życiu i jak wygląda moje zarabianie na rachunki, to na dobrą sprawę próbuję u ludzi, którzy nigdy tego nie robili, nigdy nie byli ze mną na rajdzie, nie wiedzą, jak wygląda moja praca, ile w tym jest pasji, ile jakichś wyrzeczeń i czasami upokorzeń, to moja odpowiedź zawsze próbuje wywrócić o 180 stopni wyobrażenie ludzi. Część ludzi myśli, że mam tyle kasy, że jeżdżę sobie po świecie i robię zdjęcia. Druga część ludzi myśli, że mam najbardziej niesamowitą robotę na świecie, bo robię zdjęcia fajnych miejsc, fajnych rzeczy. Są też ludzie, którzy parkując na parkingu obok mojego 18-letniego samochodu swoje nowe zabawki za 100 000 złotych, myślą sobie, stary, jak ty możesz tak żyć? Chodziliśmy razem na tę samą uczelnię, ja teraz zarabiam 20 koła netto miesięcznie i byłem na Kajmanach ponurkować, a ja byłem z namiotem w Islandii, bo mnie nie stać było na noclegi. To prawda jest taka, że to wygląda dokładnie odwrotnie, dlatego że dla mnie większym fanem jest stanie w jakimś gnoju po kostki na OS-ie i w przelękniętych butach, bo to jest to, co mnie napędza. Pasja taka naprawdę zajebista. Bez względu na to, jak rozproszymy tę swoją zajawkę, czy to będzie muzyka, czy to będą góry, czy to będzie, nie wiem, nurkowanie, czy cokolwiek, dochodzimy do etapu, w którym wyjmując jeden klocek z tej całej układanki, w moim wypadku fotografia rajdowa, znajdziemy się w kompletnie nierealnym świecie. Gdybym nie mógł zresetować łba pod wodą albo w górach, w połowie sezonu nadawałbym się do tego, żeby mnie zawinąć w kaftan i odstawić do jakiegoś zakładu dobrego. Z kolei gdybym nie dostarczył sobie adrenaliny i codziennie przez 8 godzin podbijał kartę w fabryce drutu, to odwieźliby mnie do tworek równie szybko. To są rzeczy, które jako komplet dają mi fajnego kopa do życia, jeżeli nie skupiam się na tych minusach. A na tych minusach się nie skupiam wtedy, kiedy dużo się dzieje. Jak się dużo dzieje, to nie ma minusów i tak to wygląda, że
it becomes harder, you have to be more creative, you have to be a little bit more committed. And Marcin are as committed as any of them, and that's what will take to survive in what will become a more and more difficult market.
It's just spectacular, and you know, hats off to the skill, the talent and the eye that you have to be able to do that.
You look at things so differently. You see everyday things around you in a different way, and you appreciate beauty, you appreciate structure, you appreciate color and texture.
So you add all the various elements and you fit it very nicely into this atmospheric element on the stages, you know, with your high camera and different views and then remote control cameras and all that. So that's a very, very nice addition to what we are doing. Maybe not for the quick stuff, yeah, but for calendars, books and things which are longer lasting than just the instant kick that you might have somewhere, and therefore that fits very nicely with what we have to do and try different things, and then you're a very nice addition for the team, and we are happy to work with you for that.
The media life is not so easy in this world with social media, but we also have to fight. If we are not as professional as we are not here. We really have to be in all our enthusiasms we have. We have to be professional to earn money with what we like to do.
But we never made it for the money, we made it for the passion. So that does not change.
I tak to wygląda, że 16 sezon wygląda na to, że nie będzie ostatni.
I ain't tryna bring you down, but for real, you might as well give up now. Think you got a chance, but I don't see how. Got a real tight grip when I hold that crown. My life been good and bad and all around. The more things I lost, the more I found. One thing I taught myself to do, no matter the problem, refuse to lose. So, how you wanna man, you can choose. If you can't take the heat, don't light the fuse. See, I walk in slow and ignite the room. Like fire, everything I touch, I consume. I'm getting up while y'all just snooze. While you make breakfast, man, I'm on the move. I'm the first one in and the last one out. Whoever owns the place gotta drag me out. In me I trust, yeah, I smell like success, this Elon Musk, huh? Everybody wanna be like us, we don't stop cause the top just ain't enough, huh? I ain't never gave no fucks, I ain't scared, man, you know black men don't blush, huh? Came here ready to fight on this night, you better just run for your life.
Sorry, nie włączyłem.